the National Defense Authorization Act, Section 1833.
1833.
Okay. Or get Section 1841. Okay. Title, here it is. Here's the statute.
Yeah.
This is the 24-page bill that actually got passed. This is the 64-page bill, the much bigger 64-page bill that was passed by the United States Senate. Okay. And here's the bill that was passed by the House of Representatives, the 24-page bill. And it says right on here, it says within 300 days, you are ordered to transmit to the National Security Archives all of this information that you have. This is right. These are the provisions. These are the provisions here. That's why you have lawyers. You say, look at there's the bill right there. That's the law that was passed by the United States Congress. And it says that you shall have this all gathered together and prepared to give to the National Archives 300 days from the enactment of this statute. And it was passed into law and signed by the president on December 22nd of 2023. And so you just add 300 days to that. And you got October 18th. But nobody wants to mention that. Nobody wants to say, well, October 18th, hello, why isn't every newscast starting? We're now 280 days from the revelation. I mean, you should have this countdown clock going in the background of every news program, but there it is.
Wow. Well, I'm certainly going to start a countdown clock of my own because that is amazing. Now, that happens to fall I believe, just short of the US election, right?
Right.
Do you foresee anything happening between now and then for that date to be postponed?
No. I think that there's going to be another public hearing in Congress, primarily on the Senate side, to try to put pressure on those tiny handful of people over on the House side who are basically beholden to the private aerospace corporation, who get their primary funding, from Lockheed Martin, for example. Mike Rogers, who's the head of the House Armed Services Committee, gets his major funding from Lockheed Martin, who wants to keep this secret so they can have a patent on it, so that what the Senate is going to be doing, the Senate is full-throatedly in favor of this disclosure. They're the ones that drafted and passed the 64-page bill. This sets up this entire step-by-step, and the actual term is the UAP, Controlled Disclosure Campaign Plan. They're charged with putting it together, okay, and it's a 7-year sunset clause on it, so exactly what it is they're talking about. So that this is a huge news story that people need to understand. That the fact that all of the forces that were necessary to get a unanimous decision on the part of the United States Senate that it wanted to have a controlled disclosure program put up and become operational starting on October 18th of 2024 is a huge story. And the fact that 3 or 4 people in the House of Representatives blocked getting some of it put together, which is a lot of the enforcement provision. For example, that they took out of there the fact that there would be a full panel set up, the 9-person panel that the Senate wanted set up to be able to oversee the review of all of this information and to make sure that there was a maximum effort to get it publicly released and to be able to fight back against any effort to resist it on the part of the intelligence communities or the military community. That they had subpoena power. They had the authority to go to the Attorney General's office in the Justice Department and get them subpoenaed. They could bring an action in the United States Federal District Court to have the court authorize the issuance of a subpoena to make them bring the information in. It was thoroughly done on the part of the Senate. That's the part that the House freaked out about. He said, no, let's just order them to do it. and let's pretend like we're going to assume that they're going to act in good faith and provide it, like this. But everybody knows better. These are the same people that, when they were ordered by the Congress to produce the videotapes of the tortures at Abu Ghraib, destroyed all the videotapes, after they were ordered by Congress. So that we knew, the people that were involved in drafting the 64-page bill knew very well. The lawyers knew what you had to do to put in all of the different provisions that would enable you to track these people down, knowing that they're going to hold back the information. So there's a struggle going on now to try to enforce this, but the United States Senate is on the job, and the United States Senate has determined that it's going to get this information, and I'm confident they are. In fact, they are getting the information because the whistleblowers are coming to them now, knowing that the United States Senate has stated publicly that this is what they want done. And so the whistleblowers are coming over to them to talk with them and give them the information. And that's what's happening as we speak.
So I think everything we've talked about here, I think this perfectly highlights why the work you do is important, because we spoke about how, the mainstream media aren't going to spoon feed this to people. You mentioned there that all people have to do is look this thing up. But I think people are scared of, or lazy sometimes. They won't do the hard work unless it is spoon fed to them.
That's why we have the New Paradigm Institute.
Exactly. And that's what I was
set up for, that very reason, is to be able to digest the information, to analyze it, to understand what they're really saying, and to get it put out in the form that people will want to read this, and do documentary films about it, to say, look, let's tell you very clearly what's being revealed here. That's why we've set up an entire citizen institute, all run by private citizens. It's right on Capitol Hill. We are the only civilian group basically inside the federal enclave on Capitol Hill. Our office, you look out our office window, there's the United States Supreme Court next door. There's the Congress building across the street. Here's the Senate office buildings right to our immediate right. We're set right in the middle of them, and we're meeting regularly with people from the staff to get this legislation done, and to get the oversight done. And at the same time, we've got lawyers. We have a dozen lawyers who are going to be representing whistleblowers, legally representing them free of charge, so that we can help them get the information made available. We've got courses that are being taught that are up on the internet. People can take it for college credit.
Huh.
Actually, you can take a course in extraterrestrial studies, for college credit. We've gotten that all set up. We've got 550 volunteers that have reached out to us that are professionals. That's where we got our legal staff put together. That's all volunteer legal staff that's working with us, that I'm coordinating, as chief counsel. We've got 35 university professors, academics, from various fields, from philosophy to religion to economics to social psychology. That we've got them all. We're going to be preparing white papers and publishing them. We're doing the job which the United States government should be doing. To the point where people are probably going to mistake us for a government agency. We're the ones doing what everybody would expect the government would do when you know this information to be true.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please subscribe to the Freedom Pack channel and consider clicking here to watch another video that I think you'll enjoy.